Hello everyone and welcome back to The Ordinary Critics. Today we are reviewing Ant-Man and the Wasp. Jesus.
I was little.
I hate when you do that. Hello again, I am Isaac.
And I'm Carlos, and we're just two ordinary guys reviewing extraordinary movies.
And today we are reviewing the Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I'm sorry, I had to.
And like any good pair, there's always a sidekick.
Hey. Am I the sidekick? I guess I am the sidekick.
Alright. Whatever. This is a really fun movie. It's a good time. It's a nice little lightening of the mood of the Marvel Universe.
Yeah, remember that?
Enjoyed.
Remember that last time where we all came out like traumatized?
So sad.
How it had just happened.
All the time.
Silent.
Speaking of that, there are spoilers throughout this entire video for Ant-Man and the Wasp, Ant-Man, upcoming Marvel projects, and every other thing in the Marvel Universe. So, if you're not caught up, pause this video right now. Go check it out. Come back.
Yeah.
And let's talk about some
If you haven't seen Infinity War, you are...
Where have you been living?
You are way late.
Past
Get to it, please.
2.5 months.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, there will be spoilers from here on out. So if you want to see our grade on this movie, go to the end of the video, and we'll have our report card there for you. There will be a link down in the first comment for that little timestamp. So, if we're ready, are you ready? Are you ready?
I'm always ready.
You ready? 3, 2, 1, here we go. This movie was fun.
It was great.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was very entertaining.
Like we talked about, it was a nice little lightening of the mood. We described it as like a palate cleanser.
A palate cleanser. Yeah, everybody's saying
all
it's a palate cleanser.
For the dark times that the MCU is going through right now. And so it's a nice, uplifting, fun movie that's kind of brainless. You don't have to think a lot.
Yeah, it is very funny. They have a lot of funny moments. Some highlights is Michael Peña, who plays Louis.
Oh my god.
He has a lot of funny lines, just the way he talks all the time. It is very funny.
And one of our favorite parts in the plot is he gets like injected with truth serum, and they're like, "How do you know Scott?" And he goes back to the beginning.
No, it's where is Scott?
Where is Scott?
And he starts describing where he is emotionally,
and like goes on this 10 to 15 minute monologue of him just talking, and they go like full out with like flashbacks, and like they do it like drunk history style, where you have Paul Rudd and Evangeline Lilly like acting out while Michael Peña is voicing over
narrating everything.
It's hysterical.
It's
amazing.
Yeah, the whole movie theater was like dying laughing.
During this like really dramatic part of the movie, and he's just going off on his monologue. So the plot. Speaking of that, the plot, it was very, very simple, nothing complicated. It's a no-brainer film, which is great for us because we've just been doing a lot of thinking about the Marvel Universe in the past couple movies and going forward. So it's nice to just kind of sit back, enjoy a movie, and enjoy a nice, simple plot.
Yeah, but although it was simple, it did have a lot of like important things upcoming for the upcoming Avengers movie.
Absolutely.
Like they dropped hints about the time vortexes in the quantum realm. So they gave us information that we kind of need.
And to them it was like a throwaway line, but if you're paying attention, you're like, oh, that's important.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Or at least for the moment, we think
it's important.
We think it's important.
These are our opinions. They are subject to change.
Exactly. And it also explains, like, for some people were wondering, like, where was Ant-Man during the last Infinity War movie?
Exactly.
One of the heroes you didn't quite see, and this is where he was.
Right. They have the throwaway line in Infinity War being like, oh yeah, Hawkeye and Ant-Man, they took like the buyout and went under house arrest so they could like be with their families and stuff. So this is the time when leading up to that. And so it was important knowing the timeline of things. It helped out a lot where we're like, okay, this is happening before Infinity War. Great. So I don't have to worry about any of that other stuff going on right now, which is great. And yeah, like we said a little bit before, this movie was just funny. Mm-hmm. It's just funny. It's just an enjoyable time. It picks up in the comedy factor. It picks up right where it left off in Ant-Man 1. Okay, now the bad things.
Yeah, so
gotta talk about them.
So there are a couple of problems with the movie that we found in the plot. First of all, we didn't feel that the villain story developed well. It didn't develop well. Ghost didn't feel like a full-fledged villain.
Absolutely.
And nor was her story resolved.
No, it was
at the end.
I feel like we've been discussing this a lot. We feel like she was more like an obstacle for our heroes or an antagonist more than a straight up villain. She causes the conflict in the story, but isn't like an overwhelming force like a Thanos or like a Dormammu or like any of these other big bad guys that we've seen in the MCU. So it's kind of just like, okay, we understand your purpose, but I wish there was more to...
Yeah, if they would have, like, if Ant-Man hadn't done anything, his life wouldn't have been in danger at all. Nor Wasps, nor, like, none of their lives would have been in danger, really.
Right, so Ghost's affliction is that she was exposed to a whole bunch of this, like, quantum
energy
thing when she was a child. So the theory is that, or not theory, I guess they talk about it a little bit, like, since she was exposed to that quantum energy, she is in different realities, but all at once, so it's literally like splitting her cells apart.
Yeah.
Which makes for really cool fighting scenes, because she can teleport and phase through people.
Things, which
and it's awesome. But as like an element to the story, it's kind of weak.
Yeah, it's very visually cool, but we felt it was cool to watch, and yet it kind of fell a little bit flat for us in the end. And also the fact that they had to split the villains, because we felt that she was as much an obstacle as the gang people
that were like chasing them to sell like the technology on the black market.
Yeah.
Which again, their motives aren't like connected or dire or like super threatening. It's like, okay, one person's chasing you for money, the other one just like wants you to heal her, but is like violent in her response to you.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of
Yeah, so we didn't quite feel it was...
The villains fell flat.
Yeah, a little bit. You didn't connect like the way we like in Black Panther, where you connected with that villain. You're like,
Killmonger. You're like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it didn't feel like that for us.
So
one more.
In the beginning, Evangeline, Lilly, the Wasp, and Dr. Pym are mad at Scott. And they don't tell you why.
Yeah, you don't know.
And you don't know why. You don't know why they're mad at
him,
or why they haven't talked.
Yeah, we haven't talked in a long time.
Because from what I remember from Ant-Man 1 is that everything was all hunky-dory at the end of it. And they're like, oh yeah, research, like, yeah, suit, stuff, great. But then they're just like mad at him. You don't find out about until halfway during the movie that they were mad at him because Scott stole the suit
to go with Captain America
during Civil War.
And that we're like, okay, so he stole the suit, so now they're angry at him.
Okay, great. Literally, all you need is one line of dialogue to be like, I can't believe you stole the suit.
Yeah.
What were you thinking?
And they did say it, but it was passed as a joke.
Right. They kept like joking about it afterwards too. So they were mad at Scott, and then they're like, oh, we just need the stuff that's in your head. Like,
yeah, they dismiss him. He tries to apologize, and they dismiss him as that's not important right now. What we need is what's in your head.
And then they start working together, and then they start joking around, and then like eventually like Wasp and him kiss, and then you're like, okay,
so we're not mad anymore.
We're just kind of done with that whole.
Yeah, and we just needed one moment of like between Hank Pym and Scott.
Like take him over to the side, give him a talk, give him a dad talk.
Yeah, exactly. I trusted you, but you betrayed me. You were my protege. You know, something have some repercussions from what he did. There just weren't any. They were just like, mad at you.
Yeah, we're mad at you, but we need you, so we're not mad at you.
And that was the end of that.
And there goes that
conflict, I guess. Yeah. All right, so again, another unresolved bit.
Right. I feel like that's like the theme throughout this movie was just things weren't resolved really well.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, I mean, there was also nothing new.
Yeah.
No new powers that we haven't seen. I mean, besides Ghost facing.
Right, but that was because of the quantum stuff.
Quantum,
The suit. Okay, so the new suit malfunctions during the entire movie that he gets. So he grows bigger or smaller at inopportune times.
Yeah.
Okay, great. But they still use like those discs that shrink things and grow things. Wasp, her suit is basically the same as Scott's, but has lasers and wings.
Blasters and wings. Yeah.
And then that's pretty much.
Yeah, I felt like that was it. That's
it.
everything that was
the
new.
only like new thing that we learned about. So the whole premise of the movie is that they're trying to go into the quantum realm again because Scott went in and came back, which normally you can't do because Hank Pym's wife has been trapped in there for 30 years. So finally, spoiler alert again, since if you weren't paying attention at the beginning. Hank goes in, finds her, and she can like heal people with her quantum powers.
The quantum energy that she has absorbed for 30 years in the quantum realm.
She's adapted and evolved. She can heal somebody, so she ends up healing Ghost. Problem solved.
Yeah,
but that's just about it. That's it. There's no like cool like, oh yeah, you get a new suit. Here's some like new things up. You can like upgrades that you can do. It doesn't happen.
Yeah, it doesn't happen. So on the aspect of seeing something new from Ant-Man, that's not a thing.
Yeah. Okay, so finally, we feel that Ant-Man is a very obscure character to go with as a standalone franchise, and we know what you're thinking.
What about Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yes, they are obscure as well in comic book history, but let's think about that for a second. You have Thanos, you have the Power Gem, you have just literally expanding the universe by going to space, and the threat is coming from space in Avengers, so like it all makes sense. Mm-hmm. Whereas Ant-Man, we feel like the only reason that Ant-Man is around is to explain the quantum realm to us. But there is one other character in the MCU that has been in the quantum realm before, and that is
Doctor Strange!
Exactly, when the Ancient One is training him and sends him through a whole bunch of realms. Exactly. That was a really good impression.
Thank you.
He briefly enters the quantum realm, and now that he is the Sorcerer Supreme and has control of all of that power and can go through the different realms, he can access it as well. Whether he knows it or not, he can still do it, though. So I feel like...
But didn't he disappear, though?
Yes.
Yeah, he disappeared.
Yes, but I'm saying that... If Ant-Man didn't exist and they gave the quantum realm stuff to Doctor Strange, they wouldn't have had him disappear and he could have done all that stuff.
Yeah.
So we just feel that Ant-Man is a very weird choice.
Yeah.
It just kind of doesn't fit in the mood of the overarching...
Yeah, he doesn't fit as well into this universe. That's the way we feel. Yeah, it just kind of... This movie kind of took us out a little bit. During the movie, took us a little bit out of the whole Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy, Ragnarok, all that...
Everything they're setting up for. And then this happens.
And you're like, oh.
Which is fine.
It's cute. It's funny.
Cute and funny. And like we said, like a palate cleanser, like very like uplifting movie to like get our hopes back up. But, as we already described in our previous video... It goes from really, really happy and then ends on a really dark note.
It brings you back to the Avengers, to the tone of Infinity War.
And it just reminds you of what happened.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I got chills during that part. We talked about that in another video. But it's just like, that also felt very out of place. So it's just kind of this weird, like, know what to do with this.
We didn't know where we stood at the end of the movie. We were like, it was fun. Happy, but
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, so we're very iffy about the movie.
So we're kind of 50-50 split on it.
Yeah.
So, cast. Cast was fun. It was fun.
Yeah, they all did their jobs.
They did their jobs. You had Paul Rudd, Evangeline Lilly, Michael Douglas,
Michelle Pfeiffer?
Michelle Pfeiffer is Janet.
Yeah.
And everybody, they fit their role, they fit their part, they did their job well. And yeah, it's a light, funny movie, and there were a lot of light and funny moments that this cast really capitalized on.
Yeah, Michael Peña takes the cake,
that monologue, it is...
That whole truth serum bit.
Amazing.
Good job.
Amazing. Alright, continuity immersion. Again, it was kind of It was fine. Like we said before, we think the stuff with the this is a very important movie to set up the whole quantum realm thing for Avengers 4, and where our continuity and immersion is gonna get. You gotta pay really close attention because you might not know where you are, or when you are during that next part.
Time vortexes. They talk about the void.
They just talk about a whole bunch of stuff. But yeah, it was very straightforward in this one and very streamlined. It's
the universe we know. It's the MCU. Kept on with that.
That's all I need to know.
Yeah.
Soundtrack. I mean,
didn't quite notice it.
The only thing we noticed was, you have your classic Avengers theme at the beginning, which is really, really nice, as opposed to Infinity War. It started out with a Thanos theme, and you were like, oh.
That's
we are in
trouble.
But start out with that, so it kind of set the tone overall. But then in the middle, like I didn't notice the soundtrack. I didn't notice the music.
It went on to like the background. It took a back seat.
Absolutely.
I'm sure it was
the
visuals
there. It just went subconscious. But yeah, speaking of visuals, cinematography was incredible.
Yeah, cinematography was great. All the managing of the fight scenes between going small and big,
and then zooming in and like doing the slow mo and like doing all that stuff.
Zooming in, seeing a knife that's really big as she's really small,
like, going past it, and like the phasing with Ghost and just making those fight scenes really, really, really cool. And then you have the quantum realm, which is just a whole totally different thing.
It's psychedelic.
And Hank goes in there to find his wife, and then he gets to this part. And I think this is one of Carlos's favorite parts.
We're talking about it?
Yeah! So he's going past this thing, and then it loses the signal for a second, so it just stops. And you just see these like animal type things floating around. And Carlos, what are these animals?
They're tardigrades!
If you've never heard of this thing, don't worry, neither did I, because it's absolutely ridiculous.
So tardigrades were discovered in 1773 by Lansanus Palanzi. And they are real. They are microscopic animals. And they are known as the toughest animals on Earth. They can survive temperatures up from minus 328 degrees Fahrenheit to 300 degrees Fahrenheit. That's a large range. Not only that, so if you're trying to find a way to kill them, you know what? You're thinking like, why not throw them in space? They will survive that too. They can survive in space for up to 10 days. The vacuum of space and radiation, and they can also withstand the pressure of the deepest point in the ocean. 6 times that pressure, huh? Biology.
So, short little recap. You can't boil it.
Nope.
Can't freeze it.
Nope.
Can't throw it into a vacuum.
Nope.
Can't crush it.
Nope.
This thing is going to outlive us all. And you can't see it.
Nope.
It's so tiny you can't see it.
No. It could be like...
What? Stupid.
Microscopic. They're in the quantum realm.
Stupid.
Yeah.
I didn't know these things existed until about 20 minutes ago.
Yeah. So that, you can have...
So they star in the movie. They're the stars.
The best part of the movie, if you ask me.
And that was your daily biology lesson with Dr. Carlos.
Thank you.
So, with that being said, that is our review. We're going to get right into the report card. Mm-hmm. So, here we go. Plot. I gave it a 7.
I gave it a 7 too.
Cast, I'm going to go with an 8.
With an 8.
Continuity and immersion, I am also going to go with an 8.
And an 8.
Soundtrack, I'm going to go with a 7.
I went with an 8, but barely noticed it.
And then cinematography, I'm going to go with an 8.
I'm going to go with a 9. It was actually really pretty on like the quantum realm and the fight scenes.
Absolutely. So total, that gives us a 78, which is a C.
It is solid C.
Yeah, it's just it was a fine movie. It was
nice fun. It was entertaining.
Happy what?
Something.
Happy-go-lucky. It was a nice happy-go-lucky film, just very...
It was a happy up something.
Happy up something. It was very chill. It was very relaxed, mindless, funny movie.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't watched already, we have another video about Ant-Man talking specifically about the mid-credit and post-credit scenes, so go check that out. We're going to go in-depth with this one because it's Marvel. Why not? And we're getting close to the end.
We have to analyze every single line.
Every single line for the next 3 years.
And all the clues.
So, thank you so much for watching. Tell us what you thought about the movie. Tell us what you thought about the Quantum Realm. Leave that comment.
Did you like Ghost as a villain? Did you not?
Absolutely. Let us know what problems you had with the movie or something that we missed, maybe that could make the movie better.
Yeah.
Maybe we just missed it. I don't know.
Yeah.
So hit that like button, hit the subscribe, hit the bell thing because that tells you when we're on. And thank you so much for all of your support over the past couple of weeks. We're going to continue to do this and with your help, which is awesome. So thank you so much. And as always,
stay ordinary.